What's up guys, LE here, and today I have by far the most requested video I've ever been asked to do. It's the spotlight segment on the donkeys. You guys have loved the ones I did for Imogen and for Ringo, so I figured let's keep the positive energy rolling, and without further ado, here's the story of the donkeys. Alright, so for starters, every one of these donkeys was a Hurricane Harvey survivor, and after the flooding of Hurricane Harvey, millions of farm animals were separated from their respective farms. So the Liberty County Fairgrounds began to collect all the abandoned farm animals they could find and planned to hold them until everything settled and they could be later reclaimed by their rightful owners. All they needed was some sort of verification, like a picture or a brand, to prove that the animal truly did belong to you and they would let you take it home. However, after about a month of this, almost none of the animals got reclaimed. So they began to put the animals up for adoption, and after they started doing that, the animals began to get adopted like crazy. Well, almost all of them. It was around this time that my dad and Jamie decided to go there to get a new donkey because, as I said in Imogen's spotlight video, her mate passed away in the flood, so she definitely needed a new one. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Look at that. Alright, so as I was saying, Imogen's mate passed away in the flood and they needed to find a new one. So they went over there and they were really baffled to find that almost every farm animal you could think of had been completely adopted. Pigs, goats, cows, horses, literally everything except for the donkeys. And there was about 40 or 50 of them enclosed in a single pen, and there was almost none of everything else. So whenever my dad and Jamie asked the guy why this was the case, he basically explained it as, well, what father wouldn't want to give his little girl a horse for her birthday? Cows are obviously very profitable for the rodeo, livestock, stuff like that. And you guys already know with the golden goats how hot of a commodity cute little goats can be. And it was just really sad to see that the donkeys had none of those things going for them and were basically just unwanted. In any case though, they were there to get a donkey for Imogen. So they went about the normal procedure, feeding them crackers from the hands, loving on them, petting them, just trying to see which one would be the best fit. And eventually they selected the one they wanted to bring home. So they loaded it onto the trailer, but before my dad could even get in the driver's seat and the guy could even close the trailer behind him, they heard hooves stepping onto the trailer like dun 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 dun. So they turned around and what did they find? They found 4 more donkeys, unprovoked, not enticed in any way, had stepped onto the trailer with the one that was already on there. It was one of the most heartbreaking things you could see because it was as if they knew what was happening. You could tell they were so desperate to get out of there and they just wanted to go anywhere to find a place to call home. Needless to say, neither my dad or Jamie had the heart to kick any of them off of that trailer that day, and so they came home with 5 instead of 1. So after they got home, we called around to see if anybody wanted a donkey. Granted, we had an abundance of them at this point, and we were actually able to find a new home for every single extra donkey they brought home that day. Eventually the time came for us to move them to their new homes. We kept Dan here because he was the only jack. So we just transported them, went about our day, no big deal. Well, the next morning we wake up and what did we find? We found every single donkey we had just helped move right back in our pasture from like they were the day before. And it was just one of the most eye-opening things that we ever saw because they hopped over, broke through fences, did whatever it took to reunite with Dan. He was a hee-hawer back then too, so we know for a fact that he was hee-hawing all night for them to come back, and sure enough they did. And it was at that point that we just knew that this was their destiny. This is where they were meant to be. This was their forever home, and that is how they found themselves here at the I'm a Survivor Sanctuary. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope y'all enjoyed the story of the donkeys. Be sure to let me know in the comments what you guys want to see next, and I will make it happen for the Flip Flop family. Anyways, with that said, I hope y'all have a great day, and as I always say, your boy Ellie out.